Hey YouTube, welcome to the first of what I'm going to call COVID-19 specials. So basically I'm in my garden. I thought that it would be good to do a Sentry Pro bike review because a number of you have been asking for it, and then I think it would be good to do a bit of kit review, but I'll probably put it in a different video. Got a new helmet to try out and a few other bits and pieces, so yeah, looking forward to sharing that with you and see how it goes. So this is the Sentry Pro. It's just incredible for the price. It is a full enduro bike. It has got 160mm travel at the front, 150mm at the rear. It's smooth as silk. I'll be honest with you, I haven't got a lot to compare it to. I haven't ridden many bikes. I've had a Calibre Boss Nut Evo, and then I had this. Now obviously this is a massive step change from the Boss Nut. That was a trail bike, 120-130mm travel, and yeah, it was a lovely bike to ride, really enjoyable bike to ride, and I do this for fun after all. But this thing is a beast. So this is the Sentry Pro, the Sentry Pro, which it was well, at the time I bought it, it was 2,800, and that was so it was one of the first Sentry Pros, and I think it was very much worth going for the Pro over the standard Sentry. It was a decision I made at the time, but I think it was definitely worth going for it because the extra bits that you get on the Sentry Pro, like the extended dropper post, the RockShox Lyric RC2 forks, and the coil shock, remote lock off coil shock at the rear, definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. Straight off the bat, the one thing I noticed was how smooth the forks are compared to the RockShox Recons that I had on the Boss Nut. We were very they were good, but they were very they weren't as smooth. I mean, these RC2 forks are absolutely incredible. They're very smooth. They soak up so much of the impacts. The rear is a coil shock, obviously. And it is very smooth, very smooth. It tracks really well, and I'm very pleased with the way that it handles. So I've had this bike now for nearly a year, and I have used it quite a lot. It is hello Axel. Yes, hi. Let's talk about the upgrades I've made. I say upgrades, I mean changes. First of all, we've got the Spanx Bike Race 800 bars. Now I did this, I made this upgrade mainly for the colour. I don't know if you know, but I quite like red, and they do pop out nicely in the videos. What they also do is they've got a Vibracore insert, and they soak up a lot of the vibrations really nicely. So that is one upgrade that I don't regret at all. They're very nice bars, good to look at, and they're very good in the videos. The red pops out really nicely. Secondly, instead of the twist lock for the rear suspension lockout, I've swapped over to the RockShox One Lock. So this system is, you press the lever and it locks out the suspension. You press the other lever and it releases it. It works really well. Plus it doesn't rely on twist grip, which means that I could do the third change, which was upgrade the grips to DMR Death Grips. Now these are so comfortable. I could even not wear gloves, but I've tried that in the past and I ended up with a few cuts and things from bushes and trees, so I'm not planning on doing that again. Right. Fourthly then, I added these RRP mudguards. I've gone for the large mudguards. and mainly it was, well, to keep everything clean and dry and all the mechanism clean and dry, especially with the rear guard. The front guard was mainly to keep the camera from getting splodges of mud on, and so I can show you more of the trails that we're doing. Right, another upgrade was chain guard. So I got this chain guard off Amazon, and basically it's got a lump down the front to protect the chain ring, sorry. It's got a built-in chain guide as well to stop it jumping off, and it's got a tensioner as well, which helps bring the chain up a little bit and away from the edge of the wheel. So that's one upgrade that I made. Lastly, the tyres. So the bike came with WTB Vigilante on the front and Trail Boss on the back, which is a standard fit for most Calibers and a lot of other bikes now. They were tubeless ready, so I made them tubeless. They were good tyres, right amount of grip on the front, nice loose rear end with the Trail Boss. However, they were quite fragile. On my first enduro race, if you've seen that video, the practice for the enduro the week before, I ended up ripping a hole in the rear tyre right along the top on a bit of sharp flint. So after that, I asked some of my friends in the mountain biking industry what tyres they recommended, and they said they would go with the Michelin Wild Enduros front and rear set. So that's what I did. There are tubeless ready. They are very stiff bead, so it was very difficult to get them to seat initially, but they do hold pressure very well. I haven't pumped these up now in over a month, and they are not flat, which, I'll be honest, is a big deal. But grip wise, they are fantastic. In the dry, they're nice and solid, they're tough, and they huge lumps on the edge, so you can lean the bike right over and still retain grip. And in the wet mud, they do clear very, very well, really good. So I'm really impressed with those. So, like I said earlier, this was one of the first Sentries. Now, at that time, Calibre had a bit of a problem with the supplier for the headset bearings and front hub bearings, so it has been back for a bit of warranty work. I did end up with a little bit of rust bleed coming out of the headset and down the front stanchions, and the bike has been back. It's had its headset bearings replaced. At the same time, it got the front hub bearings replaced, because that had worn out completely. The front hub was extremely noisy, rattly bearing, and that shouldn't have happened within a year. So obviously, they did that under warranty, so I commend them for that. Very good. And since then, it has been absolutely perfect. No play whatsoever. No problems at all. So extremely happy with it.